Family Matters. That's the title of my topic today for my Project 7. Now before I jump into my topic, I just wanted everyone to pause here for a minute and to think. Go into deep thought and think about what are those moments that you best remember as a moment that you will enjoy forever, a moment where you were truly happy, a moment where you could really, forget all the worries in the world and just be yourself. So think through. So when I was writing this speech, I started with that, and what came to my mind was my family. It wasn't the work that I do every day from 9 to 5. What I look forward to is not that next presentation I'm doing at the Toastmasters. What I look forward to was not that negotiations that I had to go through with my customer. What I look forward to wasn't that meeting with my boss to show him how much I have achieved on my job. What I was looking forward every day was to go back to my family, where I have 2 young kids, just a hug and just a word of, "Mommy, how was your day? I had great fun." So those were little things that filled my day. And I realized how important a family unit is. So a family to many races, Chinese, Malays, Indians, Americans, Europeans, the family actually forms a nucleus and a basic institution in every society. You start with the self, pretty much like a baby in the mom's womb. You start off as a cell and then you grow. So a family is very much that. You start with yourself, you develop that nucleus of children below you, you have parents above you, and from there, that's how communities grow, where you have got relatives, cousins, uncles, grandparents, and from there, that's how you grow cities, countries, nations. So that's how important a family is. And to lay a very good foundation in terms of how well a person performs in future in his life, the family forms a very firm foundation. Having a good family means he's got a good foundation from which to branch his leaves, from which he leaves school, starts work, starts his own family. Hence, I strongly believe that family is a very important component in all our lives. So, however, in the world that we live today, everything is very fast-paced. We have got globalization, the world is getting flatter, and we're connected 24/7. So all these actually have an impact in terms of how our society is being formed, an impact on our family. So what I did then was go to the Singapore Department of Statistics, because this project was all about statistics, and tried to find out a little bit in terms of how all these globalization and trends were affecting our family nucleus. And I found 4 key trends that were quite disturbing. So first of all, the first key trend I found was our singles population is growing. There are more singles today than there were 10 years ago. Second, even if they're not single and they have intention to get married, they intend to get married much later than they did 10 years ago. Third, married couples are married, yes, that's what we want, but they're having fewer kids, fewer children. 4, even those who manage to get married, meet each other, get married, they divorce after 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. So, what exactly is happening to our society? So what I'd like to share with you today is in terms of some of the data that I found that supports some of these trends. So trend number 1, there was a survey that was conducted in 2007 and that reached out to singles of marriageable age, hence the age 22 to 44. So for those of you out here who are below 22 or above 44, unfortunately the government terms you not of marriageable age. Right? So there was a worrying trend. In terms of year 2000, there were 35% of singles among our midst, and that has it has crept up to about 530,000 of what forms up 38% of the population. And in terms of the absolute numbers of marriages, comparing a duration of 1992 to 1999, there were 24,000 marriages every year. This has gone down to 22,900. So this supports the fact that yes, Amongst our midst, there are more singles. People are not getting married. Of those who decide to marry, they are deciding to marry much, much later. Looking at the median age in year 2003, for a male, it's 29.3, female 26.8. But this has crept up to 30.2 and 27.6. So even if I wanted to get married, I'm pushing it back. And the survey also went into what are some of the reasons or focus which people had. So first and foremost, they wanted security. I want to have money, to have financial security before I consider marriage. I want to be successful in my work before I want to get married. I want to own a house, a car. Marriage comes next, before starting up your own business and furthering education. So all these were reasons why people were getting married later, or what they had as excuses for not getting married earlier. For every married couple, there were fewer babies as well. So the study was done to show, in terms of the age group, what was the average number of babies that people had. So you can see a worrying trend between 1990 to 2007 that there are fewer babies per couple, right? And even in terms of live births, if you compare it, 10 years ago, it was at 47,000, now it's at 39,000. So this is actually quite a marked drop. The fourth trend we noticed was the fact that divorce rates have gone up. So on every year, these were actually absolute numbers. So in 1996, 4,600 divorce cases were reported, almost doubled now in terms of 2007. So not everything is all gloomy, right? I've shared statistics that were a bit worrying, but when they did a survey to ask, what about in future? What's your intention? So people are still saying that, yes, I intend to marry. In fact, in recent years, the intent to marry is higher than to, at 85% compared to 74% before. And the fact that people intend to have more kids now. So what I'd like to say is, whilst the intention is there for people to have children and all that, there are statistics that show that it's a declining trend in terms of whether people were getting married and procreating to replace themselves. So what I wanted to do is to reach out to you all fellow Toastmasters to have a thought today after you go back and see if there are baby steps which you can take to improve the situation we face in Singapore. And with that, I thank you.